2 accounts, 1 player, a max group Ironman, and a 50 defense pure. From high level PVM to the early mid game grinds, this is the Dolo Group Ironman series. In recent videos, we've been working on thieving levels on the 50 defense account. We're currently 88 thieving and we will likely be 89 sometime in the near future. Over on the maxed account here, we've been doing the Void Waker grind in the recent few episodes. However, the game has been very unkind and we've had no luck there whatsoever. And the wilderness is just a cruel place in general. As such, I've kinda reached a point where I need to take a break from it. So what's next, you might ask? Well, we are here at Tempoross. Believe it or not, on this maxed account, we haven't done too much Tempoross. I might have a few KCs here and there for some combat achievements, but we've never really grinded Tempoross out on this account. As such, we are wearing the regular angler's outfit instead of the Spirit Flakes variant, and we don't have the fishing barrel, which is arguably a huge quality of life for Ironman. I do possess a dragon harpoon, however, but this is thanks to the 50 defense pure, where we got it from a worm on a Slayer's task. Anyways, let's get started here at Tempoross. I am going to be doing a solo method where it's a mix of good EXP and permits. While we're doing the Tempoross grind, we are going to continue to thieve on the 50 defense account in the background. I'm honestly not sure what my goals are with that account right now, but gaining levels is always good. Here is our KC and permits claimed to start us off. We have 44 claims and 7 KC, just 535 Spirit Flakes, which I'm sure are just sitting in my bank somewhere, but no collection logs otherwise. Let's get started on our first Tempoross KC. I haven't done this in general on any account in ages, so I am going to have to relearn this in a sense. But I believe the strategy I do have noted down on the side here. So we're going to try to catch anywhere between 7 to 10 fish. And we're going to start cooking. We do have a hammer, a rope, and 5 buckets of water with us for the various mechanics in Tempoross. So we're coming up on 9 and then 10 fish right there. Let's start cooking them. And while we're cooking them, we're going to keep an eye out on a double fishing spot, which is going to be highlighted in dark blue for us. Do use the Tempoross plugin. That will help you a lot. There we go. Double fishing spot. It's highlighted dark blue, as I said. We're going to try to get about 16 fish here. We can look at our inventory, but also in the left here, we do have a little icon counting for us. So 1 more fish. We actually got 17. In the name of being very, very precise here, I'm going to drop the 1 harpoon fish. This is why we have the rope, for when our screen gets filled up like that, there is a tidal wave or something happening, and we have to tie ourselves to the totem pole there to secure ourselves. So we're going to cook the 16 fish here, and as soon as we're done with that, we're going to run up to the ship and load the cannon. So some clouds are starting to form, lightning's going to strike, and it's going to cause some flames. I do believe I have the time here to load all my fish and then deal with the flames, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully. Like I said, this is my first run, so there may be some trial and error going on. Okay, all the fish has been loaded. Let's start putting out the fires. We do have 5 buckets of water. The thing is, they do spread though, so that is a concern actually. We're gonna refill the buckets. Quickly. There might be a certain timing to where I can get them before they spread, because this is a bit of a time waste, I feel. Okay, the flames have been taken care of to my knowledge anyways. We're going to attempt to fish 19 fish here and cook them all this time. There goes the double fishing spot, unfortunately. We spent a lot of time putting out the flames while the double fishing spot was active. Again, we're going to get 19 fish here. There's a double fishing spot over there. We had 12 in our inventory and 1 on the ground that we can pick up. 16, 18, and we'll pick up the 1, and that is 19. Let's start cooking them. So I mentioned that we have the rope so that we can tie ourselves or tether ourselves to the totem pole for the waves. And sometimes the waves will break the totem pole, which is why we have the hammer with us. Okay, we should have the 19 cooked. Let's run to the ship and load the cannon up with the harpoon fish, the cooked harpoon fish. Once the 19 fish is loaded, we can now harpoon the spirit pool here to actually do damage to the boss. Alright, once that phase is over, we just go back to fishing. We're going to try to get another 19. Double fishing spot. We just need one more fish. There we go. Let's cook the 19 fish once again. Same as before, once we have the 19 cooked fish, we're going to make our way over to the ship and load the fish into the cannon. And just as before, once we are done loading the fish, we can now harpoon the spirit pool over here and do damage to the actual Tempoross boss. This should put the boss at a pretty low health, and we will have one more phase where we fish some more fish, cook them, and load the cannon once more. Now, I don't believe in this last phase we have to be too specific about how many fish we load into the cannon. I think it's just a matter of how much time you have. Now, arbitrarily, just based off of memory and how I did it in the past, I'm going to go for about 22 here. Again, this is my first Tempoross run in a long time, so I'm just going off of memory here, and hopefully it works out. So far it seems good though, because I know that if you do mess up and don't do this correctly, you will experience more flames and more of the tidal waves. But so far we've only had the tidal wave mechanic in the beginning, followed up by the thunderstorm and lightning causing flames one time. That should only happen once per run if you do this solo method correctly, so I do believe we are on track here. Okay, looks like we only have enough inventory space for 21. We could drop the buckets and get more later. They are available in the minigame, but I'll just cook the 21, it's fine. We will load the cannon one final time, and we will damage the spirit pool one final time, and that should do the trick. And that is Tempoross completed. We got 9 permits that time. I believe this method you can get anywhere between 9 to 11 permits per run. I did play a little bit more conservatively there, as I only fished the 21 harpoon fish on the last phase. Like I said, you could probably get a full inventory's worth if you really wanted to, but I'm just glad to have finished that KC. Now what I think I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be stacking my permits. I don't quite remember what the drop rates are. I'm going to have to go look that up. But whatever the fishing barrel is, I think I will save enough points to hit the rate for that. In fact, let's check it right now. According to the wiki, the drop rate for the fish barrel is 1 in 400 permits. So that doesn't sound too bad. We're probably going to have to do solo Tempoross anywhere between 40 to 50 times, and we should hit the rate for that. Of course, it'd be great to get other things as well. Getting the Dragon Harpoon collection log would be nice, and that would mean that I would have 2 Dragon Harpoons, one for each account, rather than having to share one. Getting the pet would be fantastic as well, but the Harpoon and the pet are both 1 in 8,000, so that's going to be pretty rare. Cosmetics-wise, if we want to turn our angler outfit into Spirit Flakes, we're going to need a total of 4,800 points. Or 1,200 for each piece of the angler outfit. I don't think that's going to be too bad because we have a 1 in 4 chance of rolling Spirit Flakes, and every time we do roll the Spirit Flakes, it's anywhere between 32 to 64. To do some rough math here, and obviously with some estimations, we average about 12 Spirit Flakes per permit. So really, by the time we have a fishing barrel, we should also have enough Spirit Flakes to turn our anglers into the Spirit Angler version. Keyword should, but we never know how RNG is going to play out. Heck, we might not even have the fishing barrel by 400 permits. Well, this is unexpected. A combat task. For 10 KC, Tempoross Champion. You know, when I said I got some combat achievements here earlier, I don't actually know. Let's find out. Oh, we're done! Wow, Tempoross Champion. Okay. It is now a brand new day. Last night I got started at Tempoross and we managed to get ourselves 80 permits. It's actually going by quicker than I imagined. We're going to reach 400 permits in no time. Now, whether or not we get the fishing barrel and enough Spirit Flakes to turn our angler's outfit into the Spirit version, that is a different story. but I've been very much enjoying Tempoross. It's a nice change of pace, and I haven't done Tempoross in a long time. So I've been enjoying it a lot. Let's see how many more permits we can get today. Over on the 50 defense pure, let's go ahead and pet this dog real quick for good luck today. We are just 90,000 EXP away from 89 thieving. I think Tempoross is chill enough to where a little bit later, once I get settled in here, I'm actually going to do the house portion of this thieving activity. For the longest time here, I've just been doing the pickpocketing here. You can see that I have almost 4,000 house keys. And I'm sure I have some more sitting in the bank as well. So I'll pull those out and maybe we'll get started on the other side of this activity. It is a little bit better EXP that way, I do think. Farming done. Back to Tempoross we go. Oops, we got a solo start this bad boy now. I think this is a relatively new feature. We got 80 permits. We need another 320. Don't think I'm going to get 320 today. Very unlikely. That's going to take quite some time, I think. But like I said earlier, it is going faster than I expected. All right, well, we get started here. I know there are faster methods for more permits and whatnot, but I've been enjoying the way that I've been doing it. It's a mix of EXP, which, you know, we don't necessarily need anymore, but it's a mix of EXP and permits. And I think in the beginning, I did mention that I could get up to 10, but with the amount of buckets and the inventory space I'm taking up with the hammer and the rope, I don't think that's actually the case, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. I'm a little bit too lazy to drop the buckets and stuff. You can get them back right here, but that's a whole extra step at the end of each Tempoross KC. Whereas instead, I can just simply refill my buckets with water and then quickly start the next one. I'm in no hurry here, so I'm just taking my time and doing the method and doing it as chill as I wanted to. All right, I was a bit busy yapping away and just focusing on other things, everything but the minigame. I'm going to cook as much fish as I can right now, but if the storm intensity reaches 93%, I have to run my way over to the cannon. Because I believe if I'm past 93%, I won't have time. But yeah, I was a bit busy talking, and I don't know if I captured this, but on the phase 1, I had to deal with a lot more than just 4 fires. I had to refill my buckets a couple of times. I was just slow all around. So I think that puts me behind a little bit. Okay, so I had another lightning phase or a flame phase, and I had another tsunami wave phase or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I think I've just fell behind too much here. I'm not supposed to get more of those terrible events, but I did. I just got to cut my losses and restart here. All right, bucket of water reacquired. Let's lock in now to Tempoross. That sounds kind of funny, but yeah, let's lock into Tempoross. Let's start racking up some of these permits. We didn't have any issues last night, ironically, but here we are. Okay, well, this is not a good start to the day. I failed 2 runs. All right, we have locked in and we have secured our first Tempoross KC here. Let's just rack up a little bit more points and finish off the boss. I think we should end up with about 9 permits here, if I'm not mistaken. I guess to start off the day, I was just not paying nearly enough attention. This is a low intensity activity, but you still gotta pay some attention, I suppose, especially in the beginning. But yeah, there we go, 9 permits. We're up to 89 now. Let's just hit the ground running. After some hiccups to start the day, we are smoothly running through Tempoross KCs now. We're racking them up. And a thought just occurred to me. I've been noticing that I've been consistently getting 9 permits per run. And I think this is just due to inventory space for the last phase where I put in as much fish as possible. Right now, the magic number for me is 22. That's the inventory space I have. But I think if I get rid of the hammer, which I'm realizing I might not even need with the method I'm doing, that opens it up for 23 fish. And then if I bother to drop the buckets, obviously that's even more room. Now, once I get my hands on the Spirit Angler outfit, we also can get rid of the rope. So that will open up all the inventory spaces, really. But right now, the game plan is to just stack up 400 permits. That's going to be the exact amount needed to hit rate for the fishing barrel. And I guess if we don't get the fishing barrel, we'll make the Spirit Angler's outfit and then we'll just keep getting more KC. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I ended up dropping my hammer to get 1 more inventory space. So I loaded 23 fish on this last phase. Is that going to make any difference for our number of permits though? Oh, it does! We managed to get 10 permits on this run. Okay. Well, yeah, I decided at some point that I actually don't need the hammer. Let's see if we can get our hands on 10 permits again. Finishing up this case. Now, we got 9 this time, so it's not guaranteed. We haven't reached the threshold where we're guaranteed to get 10. I'm gonna have to look up what that is. First of all, let's refill our buckets and get ready for the next KC though, before we get booted off the island. If you didn't know, you can't just spend an eternity here. You can see, we got booted off after a couple of seconds. Pulling up the wiki here, it appears that in order to guarantee 10 permits per KC, we would have to reach the 8,300 points threshold. Our previous KC here, we only got 7,710. So, that makes sense actually. And actually, you know what? Our PB here is only 8,230, so we've never ever actually reached the milestone, or the threshold I should say, for 10 permits. Sometimes we do get a little lucky though. I suppose it works the same way as Winter Todd crates. About to take a break, but here on 416 Hero, just 255 EXP away from 89 Thieving. Let's just wait on one of these little kids to distract these wealthy citizens, and then we'll see if we unlock anything at 89. We are now just under 4,000 house keys. Again, I feel like I keep saying it, but I'm going to get to it eventually. Anyways, 3 pickpockets. There we go. 89 Thieving. 10 more levels to go, which sounds like not a whole lot, but as we know, 92 is just halfway to 99. It is later in the night now, but I finally got myself to do the house portion of this thieving activity in Varlamore. We're working with just under 4,000 house keys right now in our inventory. I'm pretty sure I have another 1,000 in the bank. But yeah, we're going to start working on this portion here. I think the EXP per hour should go up. And it's just a little bit more intensive, but nothing too crazy either. Meanwhile, at Tempoross, we are closing in on 200 permits. Not bad for night number 2. So at this pace, it should take another 2 days until we get 400. Then we'll start pulling the rewards. The thieving activity is nice and simple. Occasionally you get these arrows that indicate that you'll get a little bonus. I think it's extra thieving XP and maybe a little bit of an extra reward. I think I was actually too slow right there, so bad example. But yeah, occasionally you just swap between each of these chests or jewelry cases, whatever is in the house. And then you'll get alerted when the owner of the house is returning, and you just have to hop out the window and go to another building. I believe there's 3 different buildings you rotate between. While you're rummaging through the wardrobes and whatnot, you are periodically going to get some jewelry. For example, we got this sapphire amulet with us. Some of it's going to be more useful than others. If anything, it could just be a little bit of EXP and GP when we alchem. And occasionally, we will also get these blessed bone statuettes. That's going to be prayer EXP, if I'm not mistaken. Aside from the occasional jewelry that we might get, the main thing we consistently get here is valuables. We have a stack of about 1,100 right now, and perfect timing, I guess I can show you. There should be an NPC standing next to the bank over here somewhere. Of course, I had to go and fact check that, and this is indeed the correct NPC, the dodgy character here. 1 valuable is worth 55 coins. If you have the gladiator rank at the Fortis Coliseum, then it goes up to 65 coins each. A little bit of a gap between the last clip and this recording here, but I'm back on and I'm ready to do more Tempoross. I think I'm somewhere in the mid 200s, 250s in terms of the permits, so another 150 to go. I don't think I can get it all in one night, but we'll be pretty close, I think. Wow, how convenient. We got 10 permits on that last game just now, putting us at exactly 300 permits. So 1 more, or 100 more, until we do a big opening, and hopefully, a whole lot of collection logs. Okay, out of nowhere, we just got the Rocky Pet. 5,067,000 EXP. Well, and some change. Absolutely came out of nowhere. I wasn't even prepared to record that. Wow, there we go. I actually have no idea how many pets we have on this account. Let's take a look at the collection log here. That's only our 2nd pet. Our first pet was the Gauntlet pet. Now we have Rocky. Rocky the raccoon. Okay. Obviously, we were just doing thieving on the side, so when that happened, I had to Alt-Tab switch my recorder to the right screen and everything, and in the process, I lost all my buckets and my rope, but luckily you can get all of that back within the minigame. It is an entirely new day now, but we're just getting started on the Tempoross session today. We're only a few games away until we reach the 400 permit threshold, and then we'll be opening all our rewards and seeing if we can get ourselves a fishing barrel. Other things would be nice too, but like I said before, the fishing barrel is the thing I'm looking for the most. But yeah, we'll see. It'll take a couple more games though. I believe we are somewhere in the 370 area of points, so that's going to be at least 3 or 4 more games. We are finishing up our 51st Tempoross KC here, and this is going to get us at least 9 permits. We're guaranteed at least 9 permits, and this is going to put us exactly at 400 permits. Oh, well, you know, it ruins the nice number. We ended up getting 10 permits, and we have 401 total now. Anyways, let's go pull the rewards. Before we get started here, I did previously pull 44 reward permits. We ended up with 535 spirit flakes. It doesn't appear like we got anything else from the collection log though, so keep that in mind. 535 spirit flakes. All right, so apparently the big search is going to be 10 at a time. I think we'll do that because if we're trying to pull 1 at a time, we're going to be here for quite a while. So let's get to it. Big search. 401 permits. Again, we have 535 spirit flakes already, but nothing else. Let's get to it. Right away, we get a casket. Some spirit flakes. Ooh, some soaked pages. That's a collection log for us. Our first soaked pages on the account. The spirit flakes are racking up already. You know, these sharks are actually kind of nice. More pages, back-to-back pages. Oh my god, we're racking up the pages. So far, our only collection log is the soaked pages, though. Oh, big harpoon fish. All right, that is... You know, collection log popping up is exciting, but that's not entirely useful now, is it? Our under 300 permits to go now. Whole bunch of feathers. More soaked pages. Our spirit flake stack is actually looking pretty good, I think. I think we will have enough for the Spirit Angler's outfit. Where are the collection logs? Alright, we are at the halfway mark now. More soaked pages. Oh, a tackle box! That is the same drop rate as the fishing barrel. Alright, can we roll the other 1 in 400? Alright, I think by now we have enough spirit flakes for the Spirit Angler's outfit, so at least a consolation prize there. I will take it. I love myself a good set of Spirit Angler's outfit. Less than 100 to go. It's not looking good for the fishing barrel, I'm gonna be honest. 50 rewards to go. Oh man, 25, last 25 here. Can we get it near the end here? Please? Alrighty, well that is 401 permits. We got 3 collection logs out of it. We're up to 22 caskets now. We have more than enough spirit flakes. Way more, like over 1,000 more than we need. 61 soaked pages. No dupes. Because if we got, for example, a dupe tackle box or something, I think we would have gotten more soaked pages, if I'm not mistaken. We got the big harpoon fish. I don't know, that might be a POH thing or something, maybe a decoration. Honestly, I have no idea. It seems pretty useless for me though, so that was a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. Tackle box was not what we were after, but this thing is very useful. We can put, I believe we can put the feathers in here, and like basically anything fishing related we can put in here. So that's going to be nice. Oh, yeah, like Exhibit A with spirit flakes, fishing bait, even our small fishing net goes into our tackle box there. So that's very, very nice. But I guess we'll have to keep going to try and get our fishing barrel. Okay, after 4,401 permit pulls, let's reopen the collection log here and take a look. We now have the harpoon fish, the soaked pages, the tackle box. And before we get started on more Tempoross here, I'm going to go ahead and claim these spirit anglers. Now, I have to talk to one of these guys, but I'm not sure who. I'm going to convert my angler's outfit into the spirit variant. What we're going to need is 4,800 spirit flakes. We have way more than that. We have nearly 6,300. We have our full set of anglers, and I believe I can just use my anglers on this NPC. Yes, I would like the spirit angler top, the hat, the legs, as well as the boots. Thank you very much. That's 4 more collection logs right there. This outfit is so sick. I like the default angler outfit a lot too, but my favorite color is blue, to be fair. And I really do like the spirit angler's outfit. If not just as much, maybe even a little bit more. But that's 4 more collection logs. Now in the Tempoross log here, we're missing the pet, the tome of water, the fishing barrel, and the dragon harpoon. Well, since we didn't get what we were after, which is the fishing barrel, we're going to continue doing more Tempoross. I'm not sure how many more permits I'm going to get before I go claim again. I'm just going to, I don't know, I'll just figure it out later, I guess. But with the spirit anglers, not only is this a cosmetic difference, but we now no longer need a rope. So the only things in our inventory is the 4 buckets of water, because there is a rope built in to the outfit for the totem pole. That's going to do it for this Tempoross video. We're going to be moving on to other things, but during some downtime, I am going to go back to Tempoross and continue racking up the permits in hopes of getting our fishing barrel. You can see I've already moved on to other things. I just potted some chambers of Xerix with some clanmates today, so I'm actually standing on Mount Quidmordum is what? Quidamordum. Well, pronouncing anything in this game is always challenging, but yeah, we've already moved on to other things, but we will chip away at the Tempoross permits.